926 last year, Craven Country Jamboree. Like, we interview for the big Jumbotron, and if you're on stage and you're a big star, we interview. They play on the big Jumbotron on either side of the stage about 10 minutes before the act comes out. So we get a chance to do all the stars back there. And last year, actually, man, I tell you, I was shaking my boots because, we interview all the big stars out there, but I'd never interviewed Ronnie Dunn before. And so I'm on this bus, and I've got my cool shades. You call them the Bono shades, right?
Yeah, the Bono.
Yeah, so we go up on Ronnie's. Listen, tell you this guy, nice teeth, nice goatee, class act all the way. Put my Bono glasses on, and I sold them on eBay for $42,000. Ronnie Dunn, good morning.
42 grand.
Yeah, do you want some of this cash? I guess I should have said that before you called in.
I'm in on that. You didn't know I was listening in. Holy cow! Those crazy jumbotrons, like 10 minutes before a show, like 30 minutes before a show, maybe an hour. I'm a wreck.
Well, listen, I was a wreck.
I've got my game face on. And all the festivals do it. And it's big major festivals do it. They go like, okay, they're going to come on and push on the Jumbotron. And I'm always thinking, God, no.
Well, listen, Ronnie, but you were in so many videos. You got a good-looking face. You should have been a movie star, and you're standing next to me. You must be going, well, thank God that guy's there.
Standing next to Bono. I don't have a chance.
Yeah,
those are pretty crazy experiences, and then to step off into that stuff. I was going, don't let them see us till we get on stage.
Well, Ronnie, it's good to have you on the radio. It's lovely to have you out at Craven. Again, I'm Jamie Lewis, my partner in crime, Gloria Evans.
Hey, Gloria.
Hey, so everybody's anticipating your show here at the Conexus Arts Centre in June, and that's not that far off. How's the tour been going? What have you been up to?
Everything's good. This is kind of a learning process for Ronnie Dunn to break away from Brooks and Dunn and get his sea legs under him. I naively said, like a little over a year ago, when I started this solo thing, hey, it'll probably, won't happen fast. It'll probably take a year, to get my sails, wind in my sails. And now I laugh about that. We've been down here flailing in beer joints and bars, and I call it truck stop casinos for the past year and a half. It's really a learning experience, and I would buy a ticket if I were up there in Canada right now, just to watch Ronnie Dunn, feel uncomfortable on stage.
Well, I remember interviewing you on the bus, and you said, like, it's kind of uncomfortable, and I'm going, my goodness, man, like, how many people have you played in front of Ronnie over the years? How many videos? How many interviews? How many singles have you sold? How many number one hits? It's odd for people like us to realize, man, this guy's nervous. He is Brooks and Dunn, the voice of Brooks and Dunn.
Well, yeah, but like you're talking about controlled environments when you talk about videos and things like that, and playing in front of a lot of people. I mean, that part, even that took a long time for me to get accustomed to. And then changing the dynamic between Kix and myself and stepping out and, try to be Ronnie Dunn on a solo basis, is really been different. It's a great learning experience. I'm really having to bear down, and I was telling someone earlier, like I read a book years ago before I even moved to Nashville. It was written by Kenny Rogers' manager, Ken Cragen, and he was giving tips to beginners in the music. And he said, business, and he said, don't talk so much between songs. Just, pile up your hits if you can, if you're lucky enough to, and then move on, because people don't want to hear, a lot of dialogue. So when I get this time off after breaking up with Brooks and Dunn, and Kix was splitting with Kix, I go with Reba to Vegas to see Garth do his one-man show at the Wynn. And, of course, he talks all the way through it, and he never finished a song. He would stop and talk and tell these great, compelling stories. So I went backstage and talked to him. I said, "What's that about?" I said, "Did you write all that dialogue?" He said, "Yeah." And I told him about reading this book, and he laughed. So then, about a month later, I saw him here at Bridgestone in Nashville at the big arena. And he stopped and was very entertaining between songs, telling stories and relating to the crowd. And I'm going, dang, I read that book. I got to go burn it.
Well, good thing you didn't read his other book you wrote for Kenny Rogers, 5 Successful Steps to Plastic Surgery.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Good thing. You look good the way you are, Ron.
Oh.
Well,
Do what?
You're looking great, and that's kind of the interesting thing when you know that, because I think as we all get older and we think about the things that we've done, and as people get older, they tend to change their career paths, and you question, is this the right thing to do?
Yeah, well, I'm doing that. Don't think for a second I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
right now. I'll be doing that when I'm there.
Halfway through the call, why did I call these people?
No.
I've heard these guys on the radio.
These are real relevant questions you're talking about. We're not just kidding around. It's like, that's you want to see a show? Come watch this.
Well, you've got so many great influences in your life. When I just kind of was doing a little bit of research, and not all that long ago, a fellow that's had a resurgence of his career, Leon Russell, was through Regina. Maybe tell us a little bit about guys like Leon, and maybe some of the names like Johnny Cash. I think did you live with Johnny and June?
Johnny and June gave my wife Janine and I a place to live when we first moved to town, and it was 1990. This just killer log cabin outside Nashville, and we lived there for the first 2.5 years. And it was funny. I mean, half the time I got to deal with Sony Music as a writer, so I had a little bit of money coming in, not much. I mean, it's like $150, $200 a week. You're just kind of squeaking by. And Janine talks this day about cutting coupons out of the newspaper for food and stuff like that. So during that real lean 2.5 years that we were first here, John and June gave us a place to live. And they had been friends with Janine for years and years and years and years.
Is that right?
Before I came along. Janine's first husband, who passed away from cancer, had built the car that John sang about, called One Piece at a Time.
He built that car?
He built that car, and gave it to John. As a result, they became best friends. And, I mean, they traveled all over the world together, and Janine was it still is pretty much part of the family.
Man,
so,
I mean that car is famous in a museum, is it not now?
Yeah, it is. I just read the other day that they're I think redoing the museum and kind of refurbishing and bringing it back to life. Anyway, that was a colorful dynamic.
Yeah.
You mentioned Leon Russell. I lived in Tulsa, which was at the time Oklahoma, just where Leon Russell had Shelter Records at the time with an English cat named Denny Cordell, but Eric Clapton's band was there, J.J. Cale, and on the countryside there was Johnny Lee Wills, Bob Wills' brother, had a band, and they were all housed and working out of Tulsa. So there was a great, vibrant music scene at the time. And it's a great place to cut my teeth playing in bars and stuff. These guys would come in half the time when they were off the road. They were in the band. Jamie Oldecker, the drummer, Eric Clapton is the one who entered me in a talent contest and ended up, we won that and ended up showing up in Nashville and doing a bunch of stuff. Ended up on a tour with George Strait, Merle Haggard, people like that. So, yeah, I've been fortunate to kind of rub elbows with some pretty cool cats.
Well, I know one of our listeners wanted to know who is the most influential person that you've ever met and how they've helped your career. It sounds like you've got quite a deep pool that you could draw from, just mentioning those folks.
Well, I have. And but I'm going to go back and tell you that there were one person that's probably as much or more responsible than anyone for me being here is my wife, Janine.
Oh, okay.
She grabbed me in those bars in Tulsa and Oklahoma, and she goes, "You're going to Nashville. You're not going to hang out here." And she didn't take me to John Cash or in June for an in the music business. They didn't have a part in that. Mm-hmm. Luckily, we were able to do that, on our own. But she sure is the one who said, "Hey, you got to take the next step." I was afraid to make the leap. I didn't want to come to Nashville. It scared me to death.
Well, it's almost like you're doing it all over again now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing, you did it one time, and you do her again, and people know that voice and love it.
Well, I hope so. I hope it works that way. If not, I sure enjoy doing what I do. and making music no matter where it is.
Well, listen, Ronnie, we know you have a busy schedule. We've got to roll on. It's been so nice chatting with you and just taking the time out to give us a dingle here as we gear up for your show in June at the Conexus Arts Centre. You'll love it there. It's going to be a packed house.
And what can people look forward to briefly in this show?
Yeah,
other than you being afraid.
Great band, and hopefully I can get through the songs without breaking down, and having to be carried off in a straitjacket.
Well, there'll maybe a few of us from the station, I'm sure, that would love to be there. We'll be prompting you in the back. Keep going, Ronnie. It's all good.
I hope so.
I've got a great collection.
I hope, we can get maybe up to 100 people there.
Yeah, I got a selection of straitjackets at home, so don't worry about that.
And
we got you covered on that end.
Yes, Janine always packs one in my bag.
Yeah, I'm a master of getting out of the damn thing too, Ronnie. I tell you that.
Okay, Jamie. Glory, thank you. Thanks for talking. I'll see you. I'll see you in June.
We look very forward to Ronnie Dunn. Thank you very much.
Great. Bye.
There we go. Yeah, what a fun guy.